This meeting is. Hello, everyone. I'm here to explain to you the summary of the policy which has been recently released by the class 12 CBSE board examination 2021. So what is the tabulation process? Many of you have been asking and finding out, and the different people are finding out different ways to understand this. More and more details will come in shortly, but there are two very good documents, two notices released by the CBSE, which gives us a fair understanding of what has to be done. First of all, this is unprecedented. It has never happened that the CBSE board exams has got cancelled. So this is just like class 10, we had formulated a policy on the basis of which marks were awarded to the class 10 students. Same way, CBSE has released a formula as they call the 30-30-40 formula, which adds up to 100, right? So what is the 30-30-40 is very clearly explained here that 30% is of your class 10 performance, 11th 30%, and present class 12 40%. Now, what was the need to bring in 10th and 11th? Because many felt when we were preparing the class 10 results also, the online marks were very, very high. And, because of obvious reasons, the marks were very high and it may not be a true picture of what the student actually scored. So same thing happened in class 12. So it was full year online. So they gave an online exams. Many students were not in a position to go to school and write the examination. So what happened was the marks that you are getting in class 12 only is probably very, very high inflated marks because of the online mode. So if you're putting 100% here, the marks will be skyrocketing, right? So the board decided that you compare the marks of the previous 2 years to get a realistic picture. So when we start with this formulation of this table, let's look at class 10. Now in class 10, this is a board examination. Again, it is a standardized examination. So this is a good move by the CBSE boards because here they have given the advantage to the student. They're not taking all the subjects. They're taking the best 3 performing subjects. So the student may have had 5 subjects. So out of that, the 2 least performing are removed and the best 3 are taken. And the average of that is taken and converted to 30%. So this is going to be a plus point because as that 30 marks is on the higher side, students are going to get good marks out of this 30. Now comes the second component, that is 11. Now here is the tricky part because 11th is not a standard examination. Different schools have different examination papers and the levels are different. So the students are not very happy with this class 11. But unfortunately, there is no way we can escape now. But here also, it is they are saying 30% you can take different components. It may not be, the final exam, if you see, the final examination. So you can take 30% of that. So this is probably a little loss for the students because many of them don't take seriously class 11. And also some schools are also setting tough papers and some schools set easy papers. So there is going to be slight disparity in this, but you can calculate 30% of that. So why the board decided to give class 11 was they said, because many of them said that, in class 10, they are not chosen their streams. So it is quite possible that they may excel in the stream that they have chosen. So they decided, okay, if the student is excelling in the chosen stream, they have chosen commerce or science or arts. So due weightage should be given to their aptitude, their choice should be reflected. So class 11 was given this weightage. So here best 3 is there. Here, of course, there is no best 3. You will have to take all the components, all the subjects that the student has taken and take the 30% of whatever is the component of that final examination, right? And of course, your class 12, based on different examination, you must have had midterm, you must have unit test, you must have had the pre-board examination. So your committee, the internal committee that is being formed can decide which examination should be taken. Should it be only the pre-board examination? Should it be the half-yearly examination? Should it be a combination of what? All that the board is saying that you can decide. Okay, so it will be the 40%. So this is how this gets added up to 100. Now they are saying the practical or the internal assessment, some subjects that are having internal assessment and practicals, they will remain as it is on actual basis because the CBSE had said that you conduct the examination. Those schools which have not conducted the examination, please do it. right? So the total marks awarded will be respect to a reference, just like you did in class 10. There'll be a reference year given to you based on your past performances, and it's not that the school can just put in any marks and you can put the marks accordingly. So here they have given a sample here. So suppose the student has got 80 marks, so 30% of that is 24 in class 11. This is the at 30% of 80, 24, and 40% here 32, right? So this is the marks that they are saying out of 80. So this is the theory component. So the theory component, and this is the practical component. So when you are talking about 30% of 10, okay, the practicals are not added. So that is why it is out of 80. Only the theory marks are there. So they have given you different table here because different subjects will have different weightage. Okay. So I think some subjects like painting and others, some they are of 50 and all that. So that is why they have given different ranges. Most of the subjects were 80-20 in class 10. So here, this is the weightage. So we'll have to take 30% of the theory marks, not of the practical. So here the practical marks of class 12 will be added as it is. So if you add this, this is coming only up to 80, and here the practical marks are getting added. So here another formula where it is 70-30, this is another formula 60-40. So depending on the weightage of the practicals, you will have to calculate differently depending on what the choice of subjects for the student was. Okay, so coming to the more explanation here, the computation can be based on one or more unit tests, more tests. So the committee will decide what is the weightage to be given. Is it equal weightage to all or whatever it is? And class 11, it will be based on the final paper. So there is no choice given here. On the basis of the final examination, the marks need to be calculated. And class 10, I had already told you that out of the 5 subjects, the best 3 will be taken and the result will be taken out of that. So constitution of the result committee, there will be 5 people now. They've reduced from class 10. There used to be more. So here there is only 5. Of course, the principal is the main person here. The principal has to be there. Plus 2 senior teachers of your school and 2 external teachers from your neighboring school. So this is the formation of the committee. There will be a moderation depending on your historical performance of the school. So depending on how your school has performed in the past 3 years, you can take that data, or that data will be sent from CBSE. Anyway, we also have the data. Each school has their own data also. And here they have said that the subject-wise marks should be within a range of plus minus 5 marks obtained by the students in the school in the reference year. So the reference year need to be taken, and the maximum difference can be plus minus 5. However, they are saying that the average, the overall average obtained by the school should not increase by 2 marks in the specific reference year. So this is very, very important, that although we are giving the marks as per the 30-30-40 rule, it is also important that this reference range is understood, that the overall average marks should not exceed the overall marks obtained by the school by 2 marks in the specific reference year. So if it is 68, it should be within 69 or 69 and a half, but not certainly more than 70. And once the results are finalized, you can do the moderation with the help of the external, and then upload all the marks there. And the result will be declared probably by end of July or first week of August. And if student is not happy with this formulation of this result, then they have a choice of giving this examination later in whenever the environment is conducive, so that dates are not yet declared. Same goes for the private candidates, the compartment and private candidates. All these candidates will have to wait, because right now they cannot be awarded any marks. They will have to wait till the announcement of the compartment comes, probably August, September. Even the government cannot predict what is going to happen in future, right? So they have come out with the second document also, which is a little more in detailed as compared to the previous one. So here they are giving you the background, that what was the need for doing this. That's of course the pandemic. What were the challenges? The mode of assessment is explained clearly. Okay, so here the explanation of class 10, class 11, 12 is more detailed in this. And they have also reasoned out that why this class 10, 11, 12 policy was implemented this year. So this was the concern that the students' ability may have evolved since the class 10. So why was 11 introduced? The reason was that in class 10, possibly the students did not choose the subject. They were forced to study those, right? So here, and also class 11 was taken because of that. So because they had chosen this. So students of class 12 have appeared in the class 11 exam. This was the offline examination. So the board also wants a realistic picture of what the student is as compared to class 12, which was only online. So a class 11 final examination in the offline mode gives a very realistic picture of the capability of the student. So a lot of issues were brought before the boards, and this committee has decided on all this. And therefore, the policy of 10, 11, 12 combining was decided. Okay. So this is again that table about the theory and the practical about various subjects. So depending on the subject, these are the ratio of the practical and internal assessments. So here, right. So this is the calculation that they have done for 80, 70, 60, depending on the marks of the subject. Theory and practical marks need to be added, and total marks have to come out of 100 here. So computation of the theory marks, computation of the practical marks on actual basis, all this need to be recorded in the rational document, and the external and the internal have to approve it, sign, and keep it for reference. Because later on the CBSE may ask you for the documents, you may have to produce it at that point of time. So the result committee, as informed, will be the principal, 2 senior most teachers of the school teaching class 12, and 2 teachers from the neighboring school. And you could also invite your IT teacher or computer expert to help you in the computation, right? And subject teachers obviously will have to be there for any discussion because they will know the student. There is a small payment also being given here. So the external is getting 2,500 and the internal is getting 1,500, right? So here, this is the moderation aspect that they have said, that to ensure standardization, each school will have to internally moderate the marks to account for the school level variation by using a reliable reference standard. So here there is some flexibility given to the schools to discuss on their criteria of selecting the class 12 marks, whether they are going to take only pre-board or they're going to take a collection of that. 10th, of course, is fixed. 11th, they have already said final examination, so nothing can be done about 10 and 11. But the weightage of the 12th test can be decided by this internal committee, right? So here, they have also given some other options about different cases. Yes. So once the result committee finalizes the marks on the basis of tests, it has to ensure that the marks are aligned with the broad distribution of marks provided by the board. So board is going to provide you with the reference range marks that has to be aligned, or there otherwise you will get a non-compliance report, and then you may have to resend this, right? So those who are interested in getting these circulars, these are on the website already about different cases. So action against non-compliance, this is what if some school deliberately tries to increase the marks of students, or there is a tendency to, because there are our own students, we try to promote them by hook or crook. So here, when there is a bias found, or the CBSE feels that the marking is not correct, you get a non-compliance, and then serious action can be taken against the school, which could be disaffiliation or a financial penalty, or worst case scenario, also declaration of results of that school will not be made till the rules are confirmed to, right? And data once uploaded will be final. So make sure that the data that you're sending is absolutely genuine and you have gone through all that and the moderation has been done, because correction and re-entry of marks and all that will not be allowed. So please make sure that you send only when everything is final. Now, if any student has been absent, then the school will not conduct any examination right now. Okay, so they will be doing an objective assessment of evidences based on 10, 11, 12, whatever is there, that accordingly. So they have said that nobody should conduct an examination now if the student has not appeared any of the tests. So you need to, the committee can decide on those, what will be the criteria for these kind of students. So as far as the schedule is given, the timetable and all that, that will already given in Annexure 4. So CBSE is promised that they will organize webinars to explain this policy in detail. And most probably in the next 2-3 days, we will be having information about these seminars, right? And if you have any doubts, then they have also said that you send your queries to the city coordinator. You can note down this email ID, class 12, okay, class 12 result @cbseshiksha.in. So this is the email ID that they have said. And with this email ID, you will be able to ask any questions which you feel is relevant to formation of the results. The city coordinator will contact the CBSE people and they will get back in turn to the schools. So they have promised that this is going to be an active mail, and any clarification can be sought by mail, and the result will be obtained within 2 to 3 working days. So there is also going to be a help desk that is going to be set up, which will be from 9:30 to 5 p.m. I'm sure it's going to be engaged, but at the same time, some measures or some phone numbers they will be sharing, and by which we can coordinate all this. And for the compartment examination, there were a lot of students who are waiting for the compartment. There will be some students who will not clear this particular examination, or there will be students who are not satisfied with the present form of assessment. And all these students will have to wait. There is nothing, no formula is going to be applied for them. They'll have to wait till the environment is conducive, till the pandemic is in control, so that they can give the examination in the online mode. So this is what the document is given by the controller of examinations, Dr. Sagan Bhardwaj. Thank you. And with more details, if it comes, you can go to the CBSE website. As they said, if there are any queries, the email I have shared as per this letter. The other webinars which are due will be shortly enlisted in the CBSE website. So please be on the lookout for those information, and I'm sure you will be able to do this pretty well as per the protocol of CBSE. Thank you so much.